Dub in the chat. A W. Ha.
The Indiana Fever just pulled off something that seemed unthinkable 3 months ago. They're now 4 games above .500 for the first time since 2015, and they managed it without Caitlin Clark on the court. But that's not even the most surprising part. While everyone assumed they'd stumble without their superstar, the Fever shattered for franchise records in a single game against Paige Bueckers and the Dallas Wings, no less. But here's the twist no one saw coming. 2 players who weren't even on the roster at the beginning of the season just became the breakout heroes of this incredible run. So, what were those 4 records? Here's a clue. They involved Kelsey Mitchell, Aaliyah Boston, Natasha Howard, and the fresh faces, Aari McDonald and Khloe Bai. If you're riding with the Fever, hit that like button and drop a comment. I've got the Fever. Let's go.
The 100 win over Phoenix. Stephanie White called that a big win. They were outstanding. Mitchell,
Come on.
The former Dallas Wing, Natasha Howard.
Nobody was looking for this. We think Kelsey Mitchell's going to shoot, but that is the play to make right there. Nobody in the passing lane.
Everyone expected the Fever to collapse without Caitlin Clark, but instead, something magical unfolded. Picture the scene on August 1st. Clark sits on the sideline for her 6th consecutive game, still recovering from the groin injury she suffered. On July 15th, no clear timeline for her return. Meanwhile, the Dallas Wings booked the American Airlines arena home of the Mavericks with Paige Bueckers leading the charge. Desperate for a win after losing 8 of their last 10 games, the pressure was intense. Could the Fever keep their hot streak alive without their superstar at the helm?
Wins in a row, a season high. Just how have you been able to find that rhythm over this stretch?
I think it's been about, we've had some practices, and I think practicing has definitely tuned us up, fine-tuning as far as the details. We knew before All-Star that, the second half of the season is always about people making adjustments, people finding ways to stop what we have to do. And I think that on us, we try to do a good job of staying locked in at practices and shoot-arounds and all that kind of stuff to be where we need to be.
The opening tip told you everything you needed to know about this Fever team's mindset. They came out swinging, like they had something to prove. No hesitation, no waiting for someone else to step up. This wasn't going to be a game of survival. It was going to be a statement. Kelsey Mitchell took the reins immediately. She attacked the rim with purpose, knocked down confident shots, and set a tone that shouted, "We're not backing down." Mitchell finished with 23 points on 9 of -19 shooting, leading the team and shouldering the responsibility usually handled by Clark. She led the league in scoring throughout the entire month of July.
14 20-point games this season. In her 8th year, she also has a couple of 30s. And Mitchell trades the 3.
Now have a little bit of an advantage in the paint, and they need to keep doing that.
That time, Dejanay went for the steal, and Mitchell kept it away from her. Would not have taken that call so gently, shall we say. But Kalani Brown was her buffer last year. Is Mitchell all the way to the hole?
So you stick together, communicate on defense. This is a high-octane offensive team.
Beautiful pass. Mitchell was so sure of that. After she passed it, she started running down the other.
But Paige Bueckers wasn't about to back down. The rookie sensation responded with 22 points on 7 of -14 shooting, along with 4 rebounds, 4 assists, and 2 steals. She was the only Wings player to reach double-digit showcasing exactly why she's already recognized as a 3-level scorer in her first WNBA season. This set the stage for a thrilling back-and-forth battle that kept fans on the edge of their seats. Here's where things got interesting. The free throw numbers told a controversial story. Dallas attempted 25 free throws, nearly double Indiana's 13. Fans quickly took to social media, questioning the officiating and accusing Bueckers of flopping to draw fouls. Even Wings head coach Chris Clains voiced his frustration with the officiating crew after the game.
Game clock almost the same. Carrington, the spin move. No foul called.
The real disaster came from DeJane Carrington. The reigning most improved player had an absolute nightmare of a performance, just 4 points and 5 turnovers. In the final minute of the third quarter, she dribbled up the court and launched an off-target shot that left fans shaking their heads. Her struggles became a major factor in Dallas's collapse.
Go to the basket here, but you got to go up strong right there. Don't shy away from the defense because they will get out in transition. And Kelsey Mitchell doing what she does. Indiana up in Dallas.
When the final buzzer sounded, the scoreboard read 88-78 in favor of Indiana. The Fever had just proven they're far more than Caitlin Clark and 4 players trying to keep up. They showed they can win the games they're expected to win, just as Coach Stephanie White acknowledged after the victory.
Finding ways to get wins, and that's going on some scoring bursts. That's being able to rely on multiple players, getting stops when needed, making adjustments and continuing to grow. I mean, this is a group that's been resilient all season long, and I think that we have such quality depth that we can rely on one another, and rely on one another in certain moments.
Two players who weren't even on the roster 3 months ago have just become the Fever's secret weapons. Meet Aari McDonald and Khloe by two midseason pickups no one saw coming. These weren't headline-grabbing signings. They weren't expected to change the game. They were depth additions, insurance policies for a team simply trying to stay competitive.
Stick to your defensive principles. This is an Indiana team that has very nimble on the offensive end.
McDonald from the outside rattles another three. That's her third of.
McDonald's story reads like something straight out of a movie script. She was unsigned at the start of the season. No team showed interest in her services. Then, on June 25th, the Fever came calling with a rest-of-season contract offer after she had spent a couple of weeks with the team on a hardship deal. Fast forward to this game against Dallas, and she's dropping 15 points and dishing out 6 assists, running the offense like she's been there all year. This performance came right on the heels of her career-high outing against Phoenix, where she proved she could rise to the occasion in big moments.
She should have looked up and said, "Oh, aren't you an all-star?"
Pass.
And Cunningham completes it.
That's what Indiana does better than anybody in the WNBA.
Here's what made McDonald special that night. Her point guard instincts kicked in instantly. She knew exactly when to push the pace, when to slow things down, and how to get her teammates involved. Coach White noticed it immediately, saying, "McDonald has a true point guard mentality and a deep understanding of her impact on the game." Kelsey Mitchell called her a blessing in disguise for the way she stepped up when the team needed leadership the most.
Yeah, I mean, I think the biggest thing with Aari is that she's dependable, and she's dependable not always for production, but she understands the impact that she can make in the game. And she understands how to do it, starting it on the defensive end, pushing pace, dictating tempo, getting to the rim, creating shots for her teammates, all of those things. And she's got an incredible awareness. And so she understands when she's hot, and she understands when somebody else is hot and how to get them the ball. But I've just been really proud to see her confidence grow in our system and the ownership that she's taking in being that leader on the floor for us.
Then there's Khloe, who made an immediate impact. She knocked down 2 crucial three-pointers in limited minutes off the bench. These weren't lucky shots, they were perfectly timed momentum builders that gave the Fever some much-needed breathing room. By's ability to stretch the floor created space for her teammates to operate. Coach White praised her quick integration into the system, noting that she understood how to make plays and showed the confidence to shoot when the opportunity arose.
I'd say Boston, the rebound to Mitchell. McDonald splits the D. Bibby, this is where she's good. She can extend the defense, and she's done it.
For that nice jumper.
Beckers again, another double-digit game, 6 in the quarter. Here's Bibby, launches, buries the 3.
Bibby, don't do him like that.
But here's where it gets really interesting. After just 2 games with the team, By earned herself a rest-of-season contract. The Fever saw enough in those limited minutes to commit to her for the remainder of the year. She filled a specific need that Coach White had identified, stating, "By is a stretch forward, she's a shooter and we haven't had that."
You signed Khloe Bibby to a rest of season contract today. Just what impressed you about her on that 7-day and those 2 games she played in?
Well, number one, just the way that she fit in right away. She gives us a different look from that forward position with her ability to stretch the floor. And particularly in 2 games where we really needed to create space for AB to go to work inside, she was able to do that for us. She came in and she learned the system right away. It just was such an easy transition, and she's produced.
These 2 previously unknown players became the difference makers in the Fever's most successful run since 2015. McDonald brought the point guard leadership the team desperately needed. By provided the floor spacing that opened up the entire offense. Coach White's system clicked because these players understood their roles from the start and executed them without hesitation. The Fever weren't just surviving without Clark anymore, they were thriving, thanks to players like McDonald and by stepping into roles they were never originally signed to fill. But they weren't the only ones making history that night. While most eyes were on the scoreboard, The Fever were quietly shattering records that had stood untouched in franchise history. 4 separate achievements happened in a single game, and these weren't just solid performances, they were record-breaking moments that redefined what this team could accomplish. Here's the first one that stunned everyone. Aaliyah Boston and Natasha Howard became the first WNBA teammates ever to record at least 10 points, 10 rebounds, 5 assists, and 2 steals in the same game. Bet that sink in for the entire history of the WNBA. No 2 teammates had ever posted those numbers together in a single night. Boston finished with 12 points, 11 rebounds, 5 assists, 3 steals, and 1 block. Howard matched her effort with 11 points, 16 rebounds, 5 assists, 2 steals, and 1 block.
Watch the attention Boston gets. Opens up a lot for the guards. Here's Boston. Beckers had nothing she could do. No rebound Howard. That's rebound number 9 to go along with her 9 points. Beautiful dish inside to Boston.
What we'll do is share the basketball here. Just a little dump down to Boston.
Hey, Carrington rolls to the hole. Howard with a rejection.
To the basket here, but you got to go up strong right there.
Let's talk about Howard's 16 rebounds specifically. That was a career high for her. She dominated the boards like she was playing against high school competition. Boston, meanwhile, extended her double-double streak to 5 games with her 11 rebounds. She's been consistent all season, but this performance proves she could elevate her game when the team needed it most.
That pass outside to Howard.
Oh,
Boston
wow.
at the basket, foul on Haley Jones.
It is not a move her out geographically away from the lane to get her off the basket. Tough rebound there.
Geisel shooter's going to come out.
But that's not how Kelsey Mitchell now leads the entire WNBA in most 20-point games since the All-Star break. Her 23-point performance against Dallas marked her 13th game this season with 20 or more points. Mitchell has been the steady scoring force that keeps the offense flowing, even when other players struggle.
The 100 win over Phoenix. Stephanie White called that a big win. They were outstanding. Mitchell,
Come on.
The former Dallas wing, Natasha Howard.
Nobody was looking for this. We think Kelsey Mitchell's going to shoot, but that is the play to make right there. Nobody in the passing lane.
Here's where it gets really interesting. Khloe set a franchise record by hitting multiple three-pointers in each of her first 3 games with the Fever. Those 2 threes she knocked down weren't just nice shots, they made history. No other Fever player had ever started their tenure with the team by hitting multiple threes in their first 3 appearances. The 4th record belongs to Aari McDonald. She became the 3rd fastest player in Fever history to reach 150 points and 50 assists. The only 2 players ahead of her on that list, Caitlin Clark and Tamika Catchings. That's elite company for someone who wasn't even on the roster 3 months ago. McDonald's ability to both score and facilitate has been crucial in filling the point guard role. If you support the Fever, comment down below, "I've got the Fever." And don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on all notifications so you never miss out.